Satnam, beautiful yoginis. It was lovely to meet you on Sunday. I hope you've had a really nice week so far. So I just wanted to send a recap on what we talked through on Sunday and a few other things. So we talked about the Kundalini Energy, which is the life force, creative energy that we all have, both men and women. And it's located down in our lower base chakras, like a coiled serpent. So Kundal means coiled. And when we do the movements in Kundalini Yoga and the breathing techniques and the mudras and the mantras and the Dristi, it brings that beautiful creative energy, that life force up through our different chakras to meet our crown chakra, where they say that's where our Shiva resides. So our Shakti is the feminine aspect of our Kundalini energy, and our Shiva is the masculine aspect of our Kundalini energy. So she like swivels and spirals up to meet her Shiva. And we talked a bit about a Kriya. So a Kriya is a set of actions as designed by Yogi Bhajan, and they're in a certain order and they all target a specific physical system in the body, a spiritual element, a blockage, a chakra, whatever it might be. They all target something different and we can't change them. They are designed to be as in a certain flow, and we are meant to teach those Kriyas just as they were taught by Yogi Bhajan 30 odd years ago. So it's a real privilege for me to do that as well. Throughout the Kriyas we do a lot of breathing techniques, long deep breathing. So we breathe in. As we inhale, our belly expands, then our rib cage expands, and then our chest expands. So just do that now. Gently hold the breath at the top, and then when we exhale, the chest lowers, the ribs come in, and then the belly gently comes in. So that's long, deep breathing. We did the breath of fire, so rapid, rhythmic, invigorating breath, which gets you sweating, and that's pumping the navel back in and back and forth, back and forth. So the emphasis is on the exhale. We exhale with force out of our nose, and our belly button snaps in towards the spine. So if I'll just show you the belly. So that's one to try at home. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to it. We talked about the bandhas. So there's three main bandhas. The Mula Bandha, Mula meaning root lock. The Uddiyana Bandha, which is just in behind the navel, the three fingers below the navel. And that's done on a full exhale. So when you fully exhale and then you suck the belly in, that's Uddiyana Bandha. And then Jalandhara Bandha, which is in your neck. And we want to basically be engaging Jalandhara Bandha anytime we sit in easy pose or meditate. And it's just gently tucking the chin in towards the neck. It's like giving yourself a double chin. So that one, we want to be sitting up nice and tall, shoulders down, gentle Jalandhara Bandha or neck lock. But the Mula Bandha is the main one, which we talked about and which you'll be doing a lot in every Kriya. And so I'll ask you after a movement to inhale, hold the breath, and engage Mula Bandha. So you're isolating the muscles around your Yoni, your anus, and your navel. So you're drawing them all in, you're squeezing nice and tight as you can, not too tight, just that, enough to really feel the love muscles. And then this is when the Kundalini energy rises up, because you're squeezing that beautiful, vibrant, juicy energy, and you're drawing it up the body. And with your lungs, it really expands your lung capacity as well. And what else did we talk about? The Dristi, we talked about our third eye point, so the sixth chakra. Whenever we're meditating or doing a Kriya, a lot of the time is we're focusing our gaze inwards, and our eyeballs sort of roll in and up towards the third eye. So I'll show you. You might see a little bit of white in the eyeballs, and that's totally normal. Looks a bit scary, but no one's looking at each other, so it doesn't matter. So just a little bit of white showing in the eyeballs. Sometimes we do focus on the tip of our nose as well, and I'll tell you in a certain meditation if we are. So we talked about the ego. The ego is the fear. The ego keeps you small. The ego sabotages you, and we all have one, unless you're an enlightened yogi or a monk or something like that, which, you know, it's nice to aim towards that. The ego blocks us from our loving truth. And Gabrielle Bernstein, which is the author of the book that I'm sort of loosely basing this series on, this 6-week series, she talks about the ego being, you know, in Kundalini Yoga, we're placing the magnifying glass on our ego. And think about ego as like if you walk into a big dark shed, it's the dark corner, you know, it's the shadow, it's the darkness, and we're shining our torch on it. And we're magnifying it, and we're putting light on that darkness, and that basically weakens it, that gives it less power. So it's a really beautiful practice, and just purely by infusing that intention into our practice on Sunday, you will hopefully have felt some shifts. Gabrielle Bernstein talks about the 2 keys to busting through that ego mentality or the fear is, number 1, witnessing it. And that's where I feel I'm at the point in my life where I'm really witnessing what my mental chatter is. And I invite you to do the same. You know, one day maybe write down, take a booklet with you and write down all the self-chatter that's going on in your mind, negative or positive, but write down all the negative shit that goes through your head, the fears. And then you're witnessing it, you're observing it. And once you observe it, it gives it less power. So you're like, oh, wait, that's my ego. That's my mind talking, not my heart. The number 2 is to surrender the fear to your inner guide. So, you know, that's something that I did on Sunday as well. At the start of the class, just felt a lot of emotion, a lot of stuff coming in. I was hot and I was hungry and new faces, new energy. And then I just had to breathe and center. And I just surrendered that to my inner guide and allowed Hariha, my spiritual self, to be able to teach the technology that I believe so greatly in. So witness it and then hand it over. Please help me, Divine. I can't deal with this right now, or I need some help in processing this. So yeah, just figuring out, what is your ego? Is it the jealousy? Is it insecurity? Is it judgment? Is it just that self-chatter that says that your body's too fat or too skinny, or you're not perfect enough, and you need to move weight? Or is it that finances, that you haven't got enough money, or money's hard to come by? Is it that your relationships, you know, you're not worthy, you don't feel worthy enough, or you all the good ones are gone, or whatever it might be? Figure out what that ego is saying to you, write it down, observe it, and let it go, release it, give it to your inner guide, your inner divine. And that's that's why we, you know, at the start of class, we do Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, which really hands it over to our inner wisdom. We hand the class to our inner guide, our inner wisdom, our divine guru, which we all have within us. And we chant that 3 times, you know, for ourselves, for the universe, and for the golden chain of teachers who have taught this technology before us. So our ancestors, basically. So breathing in, I choose love. Breathing out, I release fear. Breathing in love, exhaling fear. Breathing in Sat, truth. Breathing out Nam, identity. Sat Nam. Look forward to seeing you again on Sunday for our self-love session. And it was beautiful to hear some feedback from some of the women on Sunday. Felt a lot of clarity, a lot of positivity, a lot of energy after the Kriya, and then lots of tears, lots of emotion coming out. So that's great. If you feel any emotion at all, just cry, laugh, scream, whatever it is that comes up in the class. I know there's been heaps of times where I've just bawled my eyes out during a meditation. Some weeks you'll feel something big and life-shattering. Other weeks you'll feel nothing, or, you know, just little bits and pieces here and there. Just go with your inner guide, inner flow. inner bliss. And have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'll see you on Sunday. Mwah. Sat Nam.